Welcome to the Did You Know series of the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life, a place where faith speaks, where history breathes, and where hope finds its voice again. Each episode is crafted to inspire, to strengthen, and to guide you on your walk with God. And now, to lead us through today's journey, here is your host, Pastor David.
Welcome to Voices of Life, a ministry of the Church for Life. I'm Pastor David. In today's Did You Know series, we're going to explore August 24th, a date that echoes through centuries of faith, freedom, and human courage. From the burning of a nation's capital to the birth of a religious liberty, from hymns of hope to storms of destruction, each story reminds us that history is never silent. Let's begin. On August 24th, 1814, British troops marched into Washington, D.C. after defeating American forces at Bladensburg. They set fire to the Capitol, the White House, and the other government buildings. President James Madison and his cabinet fled the city. The flames consumed the young Library of Congress, but out of those ashes came renewal. Thomas Jefferson offered his personal library to rebuild it. And in the midst of chaos, First Lady Dolly Madison stayed behind long enough to save the famous portrait of George Washington. A day later, a tornado and torrential rain swept through the city, extinguishing the fires. It was as if nature itself intervened to end destruction. Did you know that the burning of Washington helped create the modern Library of Congress? From devastation came knowledge, and from ashes, a new beginning. And that tornado and torrential rain was a beautiful symbol of the power of God. On August 24th, 1682, William Penn, the Quaker founder of Pennsylvania, received a deed for the 3 lower counties on the Delaware. That's today's state of Delaware. Pennsylvania sought not just the land, but a place where conscience could be free. His frame of government emphasized liberty, virtue, and limits on power. It became one of the earliest expressions of religious freedom in America. Penn's vision was imperfect by modern standards, but revolutionary for its time. He believed that faith should guide government, not be crushed by it. Did you know that Delaware, born from Penn's Quakers' ideals, would later become the first state to ratify the U.S. Constitution? From faith came freedom, and from freedom, a nation. On August 24th, 410, the Visigoths under Alaric I entered Rome. For 3 days, the Eternal City was plundered. It was the first time in nearly 800 years that Rome had fallen to an enemy. Yet even in ruin, faith endured. Christian churches were spared, while pagan temples were looted. The event shook the ancient world and inspired Augustine of Hippo to write The City of God. He reminded believers that no earthly empire lasts forever. Only the city of God stands eternal. Did you know that Augustine's words still echo today, calling us to place our hope not in kingdoms, but in Christ? Samuel Stennett, an English Baptist minister and hymn writer, died on August 24, 1795. He wrote nearly 40 hymns, including the beloved "On Jordan's Stormy Banks I Stand." His words carried across oceans and generations, sung by pioneers, soldiers, and congregations longing for heaven. Did you know that Stennett's hymn became one of the most enduring songs of hope in American worship? It reminds us that faith can cross any river and still sing. Ernest Warburton Shortleff, a congregational minister, wrote "Lead On, O King Eternal" for his seminary graduation in 1887. 30 years later, on August 24th, 1917, he died in France while serving in World War I relief work. His tombstone bears the words, "The path of the just is as the shining light." Did you know that the man who wrote one of Christianity's most triumphant hymns died serving others in war. His life, his final verse, faith in action. On August 24th, 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty officially entered into force. 12 nations pledged to defend freedom, democracy, and the rule of law. The treaty's preamble spoke of safeguarding the common heritage and civilization of its peoples. It became the cornerstone of Western unity during the Cold War. Did you know that NATO's founding document includes the word freedom 5 times? It is not just a military alliance, it is a moral one. In the early morning of August 24th, 1992, Hurricane Andrew made landfall near Homestead, Florida. Winds exceeded 165 miles per hour. Entire neighborhoods vanished with more than 25,000 homes were destroyed. Yet amid the wreckage, communities came together, churches became shelters, neighbors became rescuers. Faith became the foundation for rebuilding. Did you know that Andrew remains one of the most powerful hurricanes ever to strike in the United States? It changed South Florida forever and reminded us that compassion can be stronger than any storm. I must tell you that I had a home in Homestead, and on August 24th, 1992, God told me 4 years and 6 days later after buying that home, I didn't need to live there anymore. Andrew destroyed it. It destroyed a lot of my neighborhood's homes and facilities, and I could tell you, working as a law enforcement officer back then, the first 2 weeks, food was scarce, water was scarce, even fuel. But we all pulled together in South Florida. We all worked the neighborhoods of Homestead, helping people, finding trapped people, giving relief to people. A lot of corporate entities came together. I remember one specifically where Subway brought a tractor trailer full of sandwiches, and one of my duties was to escort it across Homestead feeding people. This was an amazing part of what happens when corporate America puts out their philanthropy, their compassion, their empathy. Today, socialists talk about taxing and overtaxing large corporations. But these corporations give every day. They give through philanthropy all the time. They just want to take it with government control. And I can tell you that I was moved by corporations like Subway. And there were many others. I just used them as the example because that was the one that touched me the most. There were so many more. And people came from all over, South Carolina, New York, California. I mean, it was an amazing time. And I personally was very grateful for all what they did. So when Hurricane Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast, I deployed to Waveland, Mississippi to give back something that I was given 13 years before that. And that touched me a lot, and it helped me move closer to becoming a minister. And after leaving law enforcement, that's one of the things I did, and that's why I'm here today with this podcast. I felt I needed to add that personal story so that you understand my closeness to what happens during disaster and my willingness to help others that have suffered the same fate. So across centuries, August 24th has carried a single message. Faith endures. Freedom demands courage, and human dignity is worth defending. From the ashes of Washington to the winds of Homestead, from hymns of hope to treaties of peace, each story speaks of people who believe that light can rise from darkness. This is Voices of Life, a ministry of the Church for Life. I'm Pastor David, where history reminds us that faith is not just remembered, it is lived. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today on the Voices of Life podcast, a ministry of the Church for Life. As we close, may the stories we share strengthen your faith, steady your heart, and remind you that God is present in every chapter of your journey. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs hope. And until we meet again, walk in truth, stand in courage, and keep listening for the voice that leads you forward. This has been Voices of Life. Peace be with you.